Hello, I am Wanderer001, and this is my year in review of Wealthfront, the investment managing company. This is a year follow-up, so I have been using Wealthfront for an entire year now, utilizing my own money. Now, if this is the first video of mine that you're finding about Wealthfront, I am going to recommend that you click the little eye in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, and it will take you to my first video where I do a more in-depth look at Wealthfront from a 6-month perspective, and then this will be the year in perspective. So I've used this company for a year, and I've also used newer assets in these follow-up video, but I'm not going to go as in-depth as I did in that video. So go check that out. I'm not going anywhere. You can come right back. For those of you that stuck around, you're going to notice some things have changed compared to the old video if you watched it first, mainly being pretty much the day after I put that video up, Wealthfront made changes to the user interface. Now, to start, the Wealthfront dashboard page, which is what this is right here, hasn't changed all that much. You'll notice that the numbers here are slightly larger than on my other video. Now, that's not to say that I've put a lot of money into Wealthfront. I still am shy of the $5,000 in my Roth IRA here that I would like to be at in order for Wealthfront to do all the magic things that it's supposed to do. However, they have introduced real estate. So part of the reason that this number is so high is because I have my house now as part of Wealthfront's calculation. And I'll get into that a little bit later. So quick little recap over here on the side panel. You will see that my Wealthfront digest now shows 65 trades. I've tax loss harvested $4.04, and I've gotten dividends of $116.29. So tax loss harvesting means that I haven't opened an investment account, which I have done. Now this over here can be changed for all time or previous year or year to date. And you will notice that those numbers change based on how you display that. Coming down the Wealthfront page here, the new area is this. This is real estate. It can be added via either the cash and track account, or if you come up this way, the track and track and account. So you can either add it up here or down here. Both will take you to a similar area where you can come in and select real estate. When you select real estate, it will ask you to plug in your address so that it can grab the information. Likewise with mortgage, will allow you to set up a mortgage for one of the real estate assets that you have. It's fairly straightforward. It's simple. Plug in your information and then you can attach it to one of your real estate holdings. It will change your maximum holding at the top of the page, and I'll show you a little bit what that looks like in a moment. Once you've completed real estate, you're going to be brought to this page. Now, the property value that's automatically generated by the company that Wealthfront has chosen to use, not exactly great in my opinion, only because it was about $50,000 off what my place is supposed to be worth based on 3 other websites that I double checked. So I plugged in my own value by clicking the edit button next to gross property value. You can see that I have it linked to a mortgage, and that is why my total mortgage balance is shown, as well as the equity in the home. So if I didn't have a mortgage on that, the equity in the home would be the full value of the home. Now, both of these you can show or hide. Now, if I chose to not show my real estate or my home, and we come all the way back up to the top, you'll notice that my estimated value here, as well as my current balance here, has changed dramatically. Well, that's because I owe that much money on my house and have put in a certain amount of money into the program, and it drastically changes the overall value that I'll be worth. Likewise, if you edit your mortgage, it will show you all the information that you can then link to a property, but I personally, just like I did with my mortgage, choose to not have that show up in my Wealthfront dashboard because I want to keep that mainly for things that are gaining me money. And I do know that the home would be an asset, but for the way that I'm trying to do this, I'm not going to have that show up here. And I like the fact that it does that. Now, the one thing about the overall performance breakdown that I don't like is this is a very large number here, and this is because I have over here started a repeating deposit with my Wealthfront IRA. Now, if I go into the breakdown by accounts, you can see that the green line is my Wealthfront IRA, and it is pretty much hockey sticking up there a little bit. It is showing a faster growing range than any of the other accounts. The blue line being Merrill Lynch and the red line being Vanguard, and then I have an investment account with Wealthfront, which I've only really put $600 into. Now, part of this is because of the repeating deposit that I have set up. So my one problem with Wealthfront in this dashboard here is I have a repeating deposit set up for Vanguard for my wife's account, and it's not taking that into consideration even though it's tapping into that account. So that's the one little problem that I have with this. If I had the real estate here, it would show similarly. So we talked about having the IRA, we talked about the repeating deposit. Let's actually go into my Wealthfront IRA right here. You can see on the dashboard, this hasn't changed. It shows you the values, total contribution, how much it's worth right now, as well as the time weighted versus the money weighted. You can see that my time weighted is actually up to 16.7. I've had it go as high as 17.5, and it all depends on fluctuation of when you actually start investing, as well as how the market is doing. Clicking into the account itself, you're going to notice things have changed dramatically. If you saw my other video here, you can see that back in January of 16 is when I started, and we are currently, as of filming, it is January 9th of 2017. Now, this chart has changed dramatically. The blue line still indicates the amount of money that you have put in, and the green line that's been jumping up and down is your investments and how things have been going. The longer that your history goes for, the smoother this line looks. So it can be a little, can make it look as there hasn't been as great of a change as there may have actually been, because in my other video, when I was back here, things were pretty low and I could see it fall well below the blue line, but in this year review, it doesn't look quite as bad. And you can limit it to a particular here. Here's 2017. My automatic deposit hasn't gone through yet. And here's what 2016 looks like. And just adding an extra couple of days isn't going to change this look very much. You will notice that these have little circles now, and these circles indicate different things that have happened. So here's when my automatic deposit went in. Here they've processed it, they've rebalanced my portfolio, which is something that I can say happened now more than when I originally started. I've had my portfolio rebalanced several times, and it's pretty cool. You don't have to do anything. It automatically says, hey, your stocks are worth more than it should be allocated. It sells some investments and purchases other ones. Likewise, I've gotten more dividends, which was really nice because the dividends at the end of the year, dividends are generated quarterly, and at the end of this year I had well enough in dividends that it just automatically purchased more stocks, and that's how the whole automated thing goes. I mean, that's the beauty of it. Down here, you'll see here is my pending deposit for the direct deposit of $250. So I do have repeating deposit on, and it shows you commission-free trades. This portion down here has changed dramatically compared to what it used to be. There used to be the circle with the pie chart in it, not anymore. It also told you what you were invested in. Right now, it does not. It just tells you U.S. stocks, here's your target, here's your current, here's the market value, and the current return. If you click on one of these, it will show you what you are invested in, as well as how many shares you have, the market value, cost basis, and the yearly expense, and also why it's good to have one over the other. And if you click on that, it would bring you to a page with information just like it used to do. The pie chart is hidden now here, and I don't know if I particularly care for that. I kind of like seeing the pie chart out there, as well as your risk score is down here. Again, it used to be on the side. You have to click on it now in order to change your risk tolerance. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on an account item that's out of view, and I am going to show you the investment account that I opened. Now, this one has only been open for 6 months, and for the majority of the time I've had it, it has been below what I've actually put into it. It has only just started to peak. And what I've done differently with this one is right about here, I changed my risk score. Now, when I changed the risk score, it actually made me go through the questionnaire again and divvied out a number like it did when you first set it up. Now, it didn't give me it gave me higher than I wanted to, so I actually lowered it to 7. The risk tolerance on this was a 6.5. But what I want you to be aware of is over here, tax loss harvesting isn't on, and it says I've missed an estimated $9, as well as I don't have a repeating deposit currently set up. But if you look right here, it says it harvested $4.04 in losses, even without turning the daily tax loss harvesting on. So it behooves you to turn it on because it's going to harvest losses anyway, so you might as well get them on the daily. Repeating deposit, I would suggest turning this on. Now, because I had some extra money, I had $600, I just opened this up to see what would happen. But if you compare this to my IRA that were set up exactly at the same risk tolerance, you can see the benefits of having a steady contribution as opposed to a one-time where it starts off and then just kind of stays below this line. Now again, that is market-based, but it would level out a little more if you had repeating deposits put in. Also, you will notice negative percentages here, but they're not in red, just like I mentioned in the other video. They're black, and that's because they don't want to scare you off. Next, I'm going to take you to the transaction page, and that's kind of changed quite a bit. On the left-hand side, you can see deposits as well as, so here's the initiated on this date and the scheduled, which is the upcoming one, which would be next. And these are dividends received. Now, this page has changed quite a bit. You do have to click on each item in order for it to show you when you got it, the amount, and how much the total value is. Now, notice it does not actually show you the share. It's just amount of share. I wish they would have the share here. I really would. I'd like to know it was worth 32 cents, but I'd also like to know how many shares I hold of this particular item on this page. Now, I was talking about rebalancing. Here is one of the things that happened when it rebalanced my threshold. It said, hey, you've got too much of this, and then sold it and bought 2 other assets. And that's how simple a rebalancing works. Now, if we come down here to advisory fee for December, you'll notice that it says 43,907 whatever. Whatever total assets that you have managed for free by Wealthfront are divvied across all of your accounts. So if you have $15,000 to start off with, that's $15,000 of all your accounts, not just your IRA gets $15,000 and then your investment account gets $15,000. It's total you have $15,000 invested for free. Speaking of, if you come over here, because now I have 2 accounts, you can change it from IRA to my investment account, which I would recommend actually making sure you do that, because for the longest time I thought everything was being placed in one place and it was driving me nuts. So just be aware that there is a change up there. Now, if you were going to edit, quote unquote, your repeating deposit. So let's say we come over to the IRA and we select more. And it says view/edit repeating deposit. The deposit itself cannot be edited. You actually have to cancel the deposit to make a new deposit amount, either higher or lower. That part kind of annoys me a little bit, as well as I wish, like Vanguard, they would show you if you're going to put in $250 every month, what is the total amount at the end of the year that you would have submitted into your particular account. It's a little touch, but I like that. Last but not least, again, slightly out of view, is the invite your friends area. And I'm touching on this point not because I'm trying to get you to use my referral code. If you use my referral code, you would get $5,000 extra managed for free, and I get $5,000 extra managed for free, as opposed to if you just went to the Wealthfront page itself, where you only get $10,000 managed for free. But when you sign up, you get your own referral code. So you can know more people than I do, and then you get more referrals than I do. You can know more people than I do, and your referrals don't affect me in any way, shape, or form. They only affect you. The only reason I bring you to this page is because I have had several people use my referral link, But if you are going to use the referral link for yourself, I want you to be aware of and stress to the people you're giving the referral link to, while it is really nice that they use your link to open an account, you only get the extra $5,000 to your account if they fund their account. So if they just click on the link to create an account, it will show the little clock as you see over here, stating that these people have selected to open an account but have not yet funded. The people here who have the presence have actually funded their account. So let your friends know, or whomever you give your referral link to. If they don't fund their account, you don't get the extra $5,000. They will get the extra $5,000 on their end whenever they open the account, and even if they wait to fund it because they used your referral code. But I just want you to be aware of that. So that was a look at Wealthfront, a year in review of its use. I am still very happy that I've started using it. Again, other video explains why I started looking into something like this. But with the returns that I've had in my IRA, especially my IRA, because I've had it longer and I've contributed more to it, and I will start contributing to the investment account a little more, just to have like some fun money. But my overall impressions of Wealthfront, I still enjoy it. I still like it very much. I know you might be a little apprehensive. I've had several questions come up. I've answered them in the other video. But as far as a hands-off automated investment service, Wealthfront, in my opinion, is the way to go. I mean, the returns are really good, and you don't have to do anything except take the initial risk tolerance score and then send money, and it does all the magic things that it promises to do without you having to worry about it or pay high fees to a person. So in closing, Wealthfront good, year in review awesome. If people actually care or want to see a year and a half in review, in another 6 months, I'll be happy to do that. If not, this will probably be the last one of these that I do unless requested. So I have been Wanderer 001. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the area below. And as always, thanks for watching.